Hey, it's Andrew. As many of you know, I recently bought a new 34-inch ultra-wide monitor, the Samsung CJ791, for my new M1 MacBook Pro. I really like this monitor a lot, but for the first time I realized that Mac doesn't really have a built-in capability for laying out the screen in a convenient fashion. And so what I had to do was track down an app to replace this function. What I found and what I really like is the Rectangle app. It's a free online free online open source app that allows you to arrange the screen using built-in keyboard shortcuts as well as using the mouse. And so in this video, what I'm going to do is go over one, how to download it, which is really straightforward. Two, go over the built-in features, and then three, show you how I laid out at least my keyboard with the keyboard shortcuts. In this video, I'll use the Keychron K4 with a number pad. A lot of the features I built into the number pad feature on the keyboard. If you don't have that, you might not be able to use it with the current setup I have, but you can arrange it with any external monitor or keyboard, and it's pretty straightforward. So hopefully this helps you out. Okay, so first what I want to do is show you how to download the app. So what we'll do is we'll just do Google Rectangle app. It'll pop you up to the screen, okay? First search you find is rectangleapp.com. Click here. It'll bring you right to this home screen. There's information on this website about the app, but all you have to do is click this download, and it downloads right there. And then this file you open, and it'll kind of open in the usual fashion. Once you download the file, all you have to do is drag this rectangle to the applications folder on your desktop, kind of right over here, and then it'll open up immediately on your first attempt. When you open the application, it'll bring you to this screen. This is all the built-in features as far as the keyboard shortcuts. I already customized these, so if you look at these compared to how it's customized or how it's downloaded, they'll be different, but at least these are the exact same features. You might see it as this way initially, but you can expand it down for the additional ones. And then what I'll do is I'll set up the camera for both the keyboard and the screen, and we'll go individually kind of one by one. So now that I got the camera set up on the keyboard as well as the screen, what I'm going to do is kind of walk through the steps of each of these keyboard shortcuts. What I did was with the Keychron keyboard, it has a number pad, and so the kind of built-in features for the application, I didn't change any of these. These essentially, if you hold the Control and then Option key and click any of the directional arrows, it will shift it that way. So say I do Control Option left. Sorry, I had to click on it. Control Option left, it'll kind of click that way. If I do Control Option right, it'll click all the way to that right kind of quarter portion of the screen. If I go Control Option up, it'll go to the top of the screen, and then if I do Control Option down, it'll go to the bottom. So it's very quick and easy to do any of those, okay? And so that's what that kind of feature is, okay? Now, you can do also, these I did not adjust here, but it's top left if you do U, I, J, and K. So top left is Control Option U, which is this, okay? Top right is gonna be Control Option I, which is that. All right, Control Option J will be the bottom left, which is right here. And then Control Option K is the bottom right. I don't really use these that much, but that's kind of the built-in features that come with it. I haven't customized it yet. So that's those, okay? The other built-in feature is that, similar to Windows, you can basically just take the mouse and drag up, and it'll go full screen. If you go to the corner, it'll drag kind of this Control Option UJ. If you go to the bottom here, it'll pull it there. Like bottom corner, it'll go there. But if you kind of go to the absolute corner, it's gonna bring it down to the bottom. If you drag it similar to this side, it'll bring it there. And then if you kind of do it absolute corner, you should be able to get it there as well, but I guess it's not. But you can drag that really quickly. And so I can drag all these with the mouse. It's got that built-in feature to do that, okay? So those are the kind of built-in ones. I didn't adjust those, okay? These are the custom ones that I did. This essentially splits the screen into thirds, okay? So what I did was I set this up so that on the number pad, it essentially mimics how the screen's gonna look. And so what I did was I just hit Control, and then if I hit the 1, it hits it to the first third, okay? If I hit it Control and then 2, it goes to the middle third, and then if I do Control 3, it goes to the last third. So easily I can do any of those, okay? The nice feature here too is that if you can do the first 2/3, and so what I did was Control Option 1 to do that, and it essentially encompasses this whole area. The best example of that is via Microsoft Excel. So say I have a spreadsheet like this big, I can essentially put it into that screen like that by doing the Control Option 1 key, or I can do it into the third there. So I can have a window open, kind of work it that way or that way. But if I do Control alone with 1, it'll kind of put it into that, or that. So that's a good example of kind of what it looks like with those options. All right. So those are these third features and how I set those up. Okay. Similarly, what they have is this, you can divide the screen into fourths. And so if I set that up along the Z, X, C, and V line. It's very straightforward. Essentially, I did it similar to how I did Control 1, 2, 3. I did Control Z is the first fourth. Control X is the second fourth. Control C is the third fourth, and then Control V is the fourth. And I didn't set it up on the number pad just because there's no 4 lines there, but essentially it's very intuitive for me where I can just do that quickly, okay? Similar to the 2/3 aspect, they can also do the first 3/4 or the last 3/4. So I did Control Option Z for that, which is the first 3/4, okay? And Control Option X for the last 3/4. So it's very intuitive there to kind of set it up that way. So that's the screen for that. Let me just move it over here. So that's these 3/4 and the fourths, okay? Maximize, I think I did Control minus. I haven't used it really. Let me see if it works here. Oh, that's Control. So actually, I did make smaller. I did actually Control plus, which is this one here, or Control larger. I did Control plus, and then Control smaller. I did Control minus. So basically, the Control minus minimizes the screen or the window, and then the Control plus makes it bigger. So it's kind of intuitive there for me. I didn't really do the maximize yet. I haven't really used that at all. I probably will once I learn the shortcuts more. I use this actually all the time is Control center. Essentially, you just do. I changed it to Control space, so that puts it in the center of the screen. So if I click on this one, drag it over here, or it pops up there, I do the center and it's right in front of me. So that's very useful. What else? Restore, I haven't used that at all. That would probably restore it to the prior, like a take back. Next display, let's just see what that does. If you do left, oh, that's it. So next display and previous display is actually if you have 2 separate displays side by side. I don't have that feature set up, so I can't provide an example, and I probably never will because I think I'll never need another monitor with the size of the screen. So that's what those two when I looked into it. So if you have multiple external monitors, you can do that. All right. Move left, I didn't record that. Move right, I didn't do that. Or move up, down, I didn't do either. I could see you doing that. Let's just, if you want to set it up, let's just do a shortcut real quick. So if I want to record that, I'm just going to do I don't think there's a Control Q. So let's just do Control Q and see what happens with this. So Control Q moves it there. Let's do Control W, Control E, and Control R. It's very intuitive. So that's Q, that's W, that's E, that's R. So it's very similar to the up, down. It's just rather than being the half of the screen, so this is interesting actually, is if I take the control option up, it actually makes it the full half, okay? So up, down makes it the full half and the bottom half, and then the left and the right makes it kind of the full half there. So what I suspect is this move left and move right is if you have it minimized, like smaller, it'll just move it kind of, yeah, very similar, but it won't split it across the entire screen. So that's what those features do, okay? So that's these, okay? And then the top 6, this site is actually pretty cool. I like this feature a lot. I use this all the time. But essentially what it does is divide the screen into 6 panels. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And so what I did was I did similar to the control 1, 2, 3 on the number pad. What I did was essentially mirror the screen on this. So this is the 7, 8, 9 is the top parts of the screen, and 4, 5, 6 is the bottom parts. And so an example of this would be if I take this and do control 7, it puts it there, control 8 puts it there, control 9 puts it there, and then control 4, 5, 6 goes there. So this is very easy to kind of move around if you have multiple screens. Kind of the setup I do is because I have a lot of, I'll have like Pandora open and stuff. I'll have, say, this screen I'll put up here, and then I'll put another window, we'll just do control Z here and then open Google. And then we'll open this here, I'll put it down at the bottom there, and then a lot of times I'll have a Windows kind of set up over here. And then maybe I'll have Excel here. And so I can kind of set this up like there, I'll set this one up here, and then I've got these screens here, which I can even do like this and this if I want, but it's intuitive. And if you want to just adjust them, literally with all these shortcuts, I can do that there, this here, this here, this here. If I want to just pull up the word faster in the middle, I can just do it that way. So it's intuitive once you get a hang of it, and it's very versatile as far as being able to adjust it to what you have. So that's kind of the app as a whole and what options and features are built into it. This screen will pop up if you want to use it and reference it in the beginning. The other things I can think about is, what was I thinking about? The whole reason why I did this or kind of looked into this was if you look at, say, Google's open and you have Safari open, this is how you actually can do, I think it's here. Oh, here it is, yeah. So if you roll over the green, sorry, it keeps on repeating, but it's annoying. So if you just roll over the mouse on the green, this is how you can do it with the built-in features, and you can move the screen there. And then if, say, I have another window here, I can essentially set it up so that it splits it. But like clearly, like tiling it is a pain with this built-in feature. Sorry, it's really annoying. I'm just kind of proving how annoying it is because I can't even get it to work. But so say I have Google here, and then I click on this and go here. That's one, and then I can do that. And that's how you have to do it. You have to literally roll over to the top, go to the green, and do that. Versus, say I've got this minimized at least, I can literally set it up wherever I want and get another screen, and I say like Control T or like Option T, and I open up another Google, and then I can throw this here, and then I can put that there and put this over wherever I want, like there. So that's really the gist of it. Sorry for this video not being too smooth at certain points in it, but that kind of walks through all the different features that are built into the Rectangle app. It's completely free, so it's something you can download online. I haven't ran into any issues so far with it. One thing is sometimes if you restart the computer, you just have to open the app, but I have it set up to open on like when the computer started, so it's functioning at that time. So I hope this video helped. Please ask me any questions that you may have, and I hope you can find some use for this. Thanks a lot.